Hi everyone, my name is Debbie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm a reseller. I've been reselling a little over 17 years. I started on July 3rd of 2004, and I can't believe how much I have loved this job. Sometimes I cannot believe I get paid to be able to go shopping, bring the things home, list them online, ship them out. Most of the things I ship right from my home. It's so much fun. It's so exciting. I love it. And now I have this YouTube channel where I get to share what I have learned with others and continue to learn, which has also been just extremely rewarding for me. So I am so grateful for both reselling and for YouTube. So today I'm going to share 15 items that sold last week, which was November 21st through 27th, 2021. And this was the week that included Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We were on the road a lot, visited a lot of family and friends, which was wonderful, but I did not put much work at all into reselling for about 11 days, and so that does reflect in sales, but I still sold 24 items for a gross amount of $641.75. So I am very grateful that I was able to sell that much when I haven't been putting a lot into it. And probably the 11 days of not doing much will reflect in the next week also, but that's just how it goes in reselling. If you put a lot of work in, you sell a lot. If you don't put a lot of work in, you don't sell a lot, and I love that about it. So we will get started. I will start on Poshmark because I had the most sales on Poshmark. I sold 16 items for a gross amount of $440. And as always, if you want the complete breakdown of all of my numbers, stick around till the very end. The first item was a beautiful pair of ankle boots. I had not heard of this brand, but I picked them up and they just felt like such quality that I knew they had to be something good. The brand was Carlos Fauci. They were brown leather ankle boots in size 7.5. They sold for $30. My earnings were $21.54. I paid $2.50 at the Goodwill bins 112 days ago. So it was almost 4 months from when I listed them until they sold, and my profit was $19.04. The next one was a sweater that I just had in my haul where I had my best thrifting week ever. And this was a Parker Aviana's men's vintage sweater. It said 100% Shetland wool. So I put on the title winter pattern. It was size large. It was so nice. I really looked over it for any flaws or holes. It didn't have anything. And I thought with that 100% Shetland wool, I thought I would look it up. The comps were great and it sold right away. It took 1 month to sell, which I think is great. It sold for $40. My earnings were $32. I paid $6.19 at my regular Goodwill, and my profit was $25.81. I think that is excellent to be able to spend $6.19 and in 1 month turn it into $32. That's excellent. Then the next item was from my dry cleaning haul, and this was the Levi's 550 men's jeans relaxed fit. And these only sold for $17. I think I had done some type of price drop, and I didn't mean to sell these for that low. I think I accidentally dropped it 10% twice when I only meant to once, but it's still a profit, so I'm still very thankful. My earnings were $11.14. I paid $5.50 at my local dry cleaners when they were having the sale, and I have a video on that. If you haven't seen that, my profit was $5.64. The next one was a Nike track jacket, full zip jacket. It was gray and gold, and I hadn't had a lot of activity on this. And then someone messaged me and asked if it had a hole in it and stains in it on the shoulder. And I thought, wow, I don't remember seeing anything like that, but I went ahead and looked at it. And sometimes the lighting can make things appear like they might have a hole or some type of issue when they don't. But I said, no, it was perfect. And then they sent me an offer for only $10, but I thought, well, $10, I'll go ahead and take it. I got it at the bins, I accepted it. But when something like that happens and they have asked if there's a stain or a hole, it still makes me me a little nervous, like I want them to receive it and get a good love note or feedback on eBay and know that it's okay, because even though I didn't see something, what if they see something that I didn't? But they got it. I got excellent feedback, really nice, a really nice love note. I'll pop that up. I was relieved when I saw that arrived and they were happy with it. My earnings were $7.05. I paid just 75 cents at the bins. 4 months, 26 days ago, and my profit was $6.30. So kind of low for a Nike track jacket. I would expect to get more for that. I should have cross-listed it though. Probably if I had had it on the other platforms, it would have had more activity, but that's okay. I still made a profit. The next one was a swimsuit. I'm still selling swimsuits even this time of year. Not as many, but a little bit. This was a Nanette Lapore high neck halter bikini top in size large. It sold for $15. My earnings were $12. I paid just 66 cents on my great swimsuit deal, and my profit was $11.34. I have had this one listed for about a year. They just trickle out. I have a lot of separates, and so sometimes that can make things sell slower, but she sent a note to me that she'd been looking all over for the top because she needed a different size in the tops than the bottom, and she was so happy to find it. So I do pick up separates because I find that they sell. I sold a bundle of 4, and this was a repeat buyer. I think I've shared at least 4 times that she has bundled items from me and purchased. So when she bundles, I always like giving her a good deal. And it's not just little bundles, it's usually...
If you go into your sales, you can not only search for items that you have sold, but you can also search by usernames to see if someone has previously purchased from you and how many times they have purchased from you. So as you can see, I whited out their name, but I searched to see how many times that buyer has purchased from me. And you can use that as a tool when someone is liking a lot of things and you think, oh, that name sounds really familiar. What I will do is I will search their username to see if they have previously purchased from me and how often. And then I might create a bundle and send a message to them, thanking them for their repeat business and offering them an extra special discount due to them purchasing from you more than one time. So that's just one little marketing tool that you can use.
This one was a bundle of 4. The first one was an MBD, which is a Revolve brand, escape midi dress, navy with cutouts in the side, and that one I paid $9.99 for. The next one was the Free People Ari Black Neo bra. The cost on that was $5.50. The next one was the Free People Delta bodysuit. It cost $10.68. And then the last one was the Free People Gloom bralette, and it cost $2.90. I got those liquidation from Fox Liquidation. That's the only liquidation place that I've ever purchased from. That bundle sold for $75. My earnings were $60. I paid $29.07, and my profit was $30.93. Next, we'll move to eBay. I sold 6 items for $141.11. The first one was the Cooligan water mount replacement cartridge filter. It was in my big haul of my best thrifting week ever. And then this was one of the items that I showed the example of how I research, price, create the drafts, photograph, list, and it sold in less than 24 hours. And I knew it would sell quickly because it had almost a 100% sell-through rate. And that sell-through rate is so important. It is a predictor of how fast your items will sell. If you have close to that 100% sell-through rate, you know that it's going to sell higher and it's going to sell fast. And this was the case. I listed it at 4:20 p.m. and it sold at 12:38 p.m. the next day. So not even 24 hours. It sold for $16.42. My earnings were $9.37. I paid $1.79 at my regular Goodwill, and my profit was $7.58. And I will continue. I have one last video in my series from the start to finish, and this will be in that video I videoed when I was packaging it. So the last video in this series will be about shipping and about inventorying. So in that video, I have a clip of how I packaged that. The next one was also in the haul portion of that series, and this was the Chinese Laundry Kiss Burgundy patent leather Oxford shoes in size 10. And they were women's. They sold for $46.49. My earnings were $26.73. I paid $8.09 at my regular Goodwill, and they only took 8 days to sell. My profit was $18.54, and these also had a great sell-through rate, so I was confident that they would sell right away. The next one, oh, I loved this one. I thought this was beautiful. I found this at a Goodwill in Plano, Texas, and I had a video where I took my husband for the very first time to Goodwill, and I found so many neat items there. That was a great haul, and this was one of them. I didn't know what it was. It was this green glass, and I figured out that it was a decanter for wine, and it had a little chamber where you put ice in it and a cork, and then you put the wine in the main part, and it keeps it cool. So I just thought it was really unique and pretty. I was so excited to pick that up. Sold for a gross amount of $49.27. My earnings were $28.16. I paid just $2.92 at the Goodwill in Plano, Texas, and it took 4.5 months to sell. My profit was $25.24, and this one was fragile, and so I have a video clip of how I packaged it. I have a whole video on packaging fragile items, but I will put a little clip in here just to show you this one if you're interested in seeing that.
Okay, I'm going to package this. I'm going to use some filler that my mom gave to me. This bubble wrap you can get from Walmart, or I'll have a link for bubble wrap down below on Amazon. Then I'm going to double box it. This I got from Walmart, and it's 12 by 8 by 10, and I think it's around 60 cents. Then I'm going to use this for the outside box, but it's going to be too big, so I'm going to cut it down. It is 15 by 12 by 10, so I'm going to just cut down just a little bit so that it stays in the dimensions where it's less expensive. So first I'm going to protect a little bit extra these parts that stick out. So I'm just going to take some bubble wrap and wrap it all around. I will secure it with a little bit of tape. I continue to wrap layer after layer, making sure that it is well protected. And if you watched my video on how to ship fragile items, I go into a lot more detail, but the most important things that I think ensure that your item will get there without breaking is, number one, make sure that there is no space to wiggle around in the box. So I am going to fill it in where there is no movement, because movement often means breakage. Second, I make sure that I double box. When you have two boxes, it gives it an extra layer of protection. And in the second box, the larger box, I make sure that there is room all around the first box to put cushion between the first box and the second box. And make sure that you have a box that's not too flimsy. After boxes have been used a lot, they do not have as much durability as they do as a brand new box. So I do recycle things all the time. I try to reuse boxes and packaging material. Most of the packaging material that I use, my mom saves for me. So I absolutely believe in recycling, but if you have a super fragile item, sometimes it's worth it to purchase a brand new box to make sure that the integrity of the box is still there. I taped a couple extra pieces on the end just to make sure that they stayed exactly where I wanted them to. I have my box ready. I put some air jackets in the bottom of the box. Then I place the item inside. I make sure that it is filled up. There is no room for movement, but it's not overstuffed where I can close it. Then I will put a thank you sticker on top so that they see that right when they open the box, and I will seal it up and start working on the second box. Now I grab my larger box, and it is ideal to have at least an inch on each side, top and bottom, to have a barrier in between the two boxes. So I have a layer on the bottom, and then I put some bubble wrap on each side, and then I will put some on the top as well. And again, I make sure that my box is completely filled where there's no movement. And now my box is a little bit oversized. So I just take a pocket knife and cut down a little over an inch on each of the corners, and that is going to put it in the size where it does not go up in price due to the dimensions. And one thing that I found when I cut the box down like this, sometimes it is hard to fold the sides over. So if you just take your pocket knife and make a little line, just score it, then it folds over really nicely, and your box looks much better when you do that than just see how I have it folded without scoring it. I used to struggle with that, and then I figured out to just make a little line with my pocket knife, and then your box ends up looking so much better. And I will have you know, this item has arrived safely. It made it. I have never had an item arrive broken when I have double boxed it and used this process. On some items that are very odd sized or oversized, I will go ahead and package them while I am listing the item to make sure that I have the exact dimensions and weight and packaging, and then it's ready to go when it ships. On this one, what I did was I grabbed a couple boxes and I put them on the scale with filler and the item to see how much it would weigh and see if I could cut the box down a little bit and get it under the dimensions that would cost less. And so then I knew I had everything on hand, and I did not leave it prepackaged. But sometimes I do, and that makes it really easy when the item sells, but it takes up more space.
Next one is another liquidation item. This is the Free People Undies Cotton Medallion Boy Shorts. And this person picked the quantity of 3, so that makes it super easy. The 3 pairs sold for a gross amount of $26.58. My earnings were $17.34. They cost $1.10 each, total of $3.30. And my profit on the 3 pairs was $14.04. So that's not a lot. But I had 60 of these at $1.10 each. I sold a lot of them on Amazon. Amazon let me sell them on there, and they sold a little bit higher on Amazon. And on eBay, I have sold 41 of them, and I just have 4 left. I have profited around $5 each on these. The listing did take a little bit longer, probably 20 minutes to list all of them, but that's not bad. And then to ship them, each of them super quick. They're pre-packaged. So if I've made an average of about $5 on each of them, 60, that's $300 for not much work at all. So it might not sound a lot, but sometimes those little profits really add up. Then last, Mercari. I sold 2 items on Mercari for a gross amount of $60.64. The first item was one of my personal favorite tops. I kept one of these and I absolutely love it. It is the Free People bodysuit top, size small. It sold for a gross amount of $46.99. My earnings were $35.41. I paid $9.54 for Babes in Bandeau's bodysuit and $3.36 for just the lace bandeau. So my total cost of goods was $12.90, and my profit was $22.51. Those took 9.5 months to sell, but it was multiple quantities, and that was the last one to sell. Then the last one, ironically, was the bandeau that I included in the first one. I sold it separately in the second one. It sold for $13.65. My earnings were $8.41. I paid $3.36 9.5 months ago, and my profit was $5.05. And these sales were a result of last week when I had told you a girl had asked me, do you have any more Free People items? And I said, yes, I will cross-list them. And she didn't buy any more, but it resulted in me having other items out there, and so I made sales to other people. So maybe that person didn't buy, but now I have that item and other items out there available to sell. So now we will go over my totals. I won't read off every number because that's kind of boring to just rattle off each number, but you can always pause and enlarge the screen if you'd like to look at the numbers more closely. And it has been almost a year now that I'm putting about 10 to 15 hours a week in, and you can see week after week, I'm sharing the good or the bad, how I'm doing. My gross sales this past week were $641.75. My money back in the bank after fees and postage was $471.55. My cost of goods was $172.68. I had no refunds and no returns this week, yay! And my profit was $298.87. So my actual profit was 46.5% of my gross sales. On Poshmark, 16 items for a gross amount of $440. After fees, $346.13. My cost of goods was pretty high, $140.22, because part of that, I didn't put this one in there, but the Perfect Illusion velvet suit, I sold the last one, yay, but I'd shared that one a couple times, so I didn't want to go over that again. But that one had a pretty high cost of goods, that was $70. So my cost of goods was pretty high on that one. Then on eBay, 6 items for $141.11. I received back $81.60. My cost of goods was only $16.20, so super low on my eBay cost of goods. And on Mercari, 2 items, gross amount $60.64, profit $27.56. If you look at the breakdown of where my items came from, out of the 24 items, 15 came from liquidation, 7 from thrifted, and 2 from retail arbitrage. So that is everything that I have for you this week. If you're still watching, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video and would give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching, and everybody have a great day. Bye.